Some people go through life touched by hardship once or twice, but for John Travolta, loss has returned again and again, quietly reshaping who he is. Behind the confidence, charisma, and cultural impact that made him a global icon lies a private history defined by grief. Cancer, in particular, has left an enduring mark on his life, not as a single chapter, but as a recurring presence across decades. It has taken people he loved at different stages of his life, each loss arriving when he least expected it. Yet what makes Travolta's story remarkable is not the number of tragedies he endured, but the way he chose to carry them. Rather than allowing pain to define him publicly, he met it with restraint, reflection, and dignity. His journey is not about sorrow alone, but about learning how to live alongside it. First love at the height of youth. In the mid-1970s, John Travolta was just beginning to understand what real love meant. While filming The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, he met actress Diana Hyland, who was cast as his on-screen mother. Despite their age difference, a deep connection formed almost immediately. Travolta later described their bond as intense and transformative, unlike anything he had experienced before. For a young man on the brink of superstardom, Diana offered grounding, wisdom, and emotional safety. As his career accelerated with Saturday Night Fever, they began planning a life together, imagining stability beyond fame. What Travolta did not yet know was that Diana had previously battled breast cancer and believed it was behind her. Their future felt full of promise, until her health declined rapidly. Within weeks, hope turned into heartbreak, and life changed forever. Losing love before fame could protect him. In March 1977, Diana Hyland passed away from breast cancer while John Travolta held her hand. He was just 23 years old, newly famous and completely unprepared for the depth of loss he felt. The success of Saturday Night Fever continued without pause, but behind the scenes, Travolta was grieving deeply. He later described the weeks following her death as the hardest period of his life at that point. Fame offered no protection from sorrow, no insulation from pain. The experience permanently altered how he viewed success and attachment. Love, he learned, could disappear without warning. That lesson stayed with him long after the spotlight shifted elsewhere. What he could not have known then was that this loss would mark the beginning of a much longer relationship with grief, one that would return repeatedly throughout his life. A mother's quiet sacrifice. Less than 2 years after losing Diana, cancer returned through the most foundational figure in Travolta's life, his mother, Helen. A former performer turned drama teacher, Helen was the force that encouraged creativity in her children and believed in John before anyone else did. When she was diagnosed with breast cancer, she delayed telling him, hoping to protect her son from further pain so soon after Diana's death. When he finally learned the truth, Travolta became her constant companion, visiting her often and using the one skill he knew best to lift her spirits. He sang, performed, and shared moments of light with her during her illness. In December 1978, Helen passed away at 66. Losing his mother so soon after losing his first love left Travolta emotionally unmoored, grieving 2 irreplaceable relationships taken by the same disease. Grief collides with career uncertainty. By the end of the 1970s, John Travolta was facing both personal devastation and professional instability. The cultural wave that had carried him to stardom was fading, and the film industry was moving on quickly. Critics questioned his longevity, and projects failed to meet expectations. For a young man still processing profound grief, the uncertainty of his career added another layer of pressure. Yet even during this difficult period, Travolta did not retreat entirely. He continued working, learning patience and restraint. These years taught him something fame never could: that identity must exist beyond public approval. Slowly, he rebuilt emotional balance, preparing unknowingly for a new chapter. Healing was gradual and imperfect, but it allowed him to remain open to love again when the time came. Building a family and finding stability. In the late 1980s, John Travolta met actress Kelly Preston while filming The Experts. Their connection was immediate and sincere, offering Travolta a sense of hope he had not felt in years. They married in 1991 and soon began building a family together. Their children, Jet, Ella, and later Benjamin, became the center of Travolta's world. Kelly brought warmth, partnership, and emotional steadiness into his life, helping him create a sense of normalcy away from Hollywood pressures. At the same time, his career experienced a resurgence, particularly after Pulp Fiction, restoring professional confidence. For a while, life felt balanced. Love, family, and purpose aligned in a way Travolta had long hoped for, and the pain of earlier years felt more distant, though never forgotten. Losing a son and facing public pain. In January 2009, John Travolta experienced the most devastating loss of his life when his son Jet passed away at the age of 16 following a seizure. Travolta was deeply involved in Jet's care and rarely left his side. The loss shattered him completely, eclipsing even earlier grief. In the aftermath, the family faced intense public scrutiny and additional stress, including a highly publicized extortion attempt. Through it all, Travolta remained focused on protecting his family. He later described losing Jet as the worst thing that had ever happened to him. Grief took precedence over career, and healing became the only priority. Out of that loss, he and Kelly expanded the Jet Travolta Foundation, choosing to turn pain into support for families facing similar challenges. Cancer returns once more. In 2018, history repeated itself when Kelly Preston was diagnosed with breast cancer. This time, the family chose privacy. Kelly underwent treatment quietly, supported closely by Travolta and their children. Despite hope and advanced care, the disease progressed. In July 2020, Kelly passed away at the age of 57. For John Travolta, it marked the third time breast cancer had taken someone he loved deeply. His public announcement was simple and heartfelt, expressing gratitude to caregivers and promising to prioritize his children. Once again, fame offered no protection. Loss arrived without regard for past suffering. Yet, through this, Travolta demonstrated remarkable composure, choosing presence over public expression and stepping away to focus on family, reflection, and healing. Learning to speak about grief. After Kelly's passing, John Travolta began speaking openly about grief in a way that resonated widely. He emphasized that mourning is deeply personal and cannot be rushed or managed by outside expectations. He shared how overwhelming public sympathy, though well-intentioned, can sometimes complicate healing. Travolta encouraged people to give space to those grieving, allowing them to process loss in their own time and manner. His words were grounded in lived experience, not theory. Over time, friends noticed subtle changes. He began traveling again, sharing moments with his children, and slowly reintroducing joy into daily life. Healing did not mean forgetting, but learning how to carry memory without being consumed by it. Choosing life alongside memory. Today, John Travolta lives with a quiet acceptance shaped by decades of loss and resilience. He honors the people he has lost while choosing to remain fully present for the life he still leads. His children remain his greatest priority, and he approaches each day with intention rather than expectation. Grief no longer defines him, but it informs his compassion, patience, and perspective. Travolta's story is not one of tragedy alone, but of endurance. It reminds us that pain and joy can coexist, that love does not disappear with loss, and that choosing to live is not an act of forgetting, but of honouring. His journey offers something rare, a reminder that even after repeated heartbreak, the human spirit can continue forward with grace, meaning, and hope.